Fellas, it's Dick Del Hagen reporting in here with Delicious Dick's Daily Delight, giving you a hot golden tidbit, okay? First and foremost, look at the sleeves and the shoulders. This is a double XL shirt, all right? Now you can say, Sticky Ricky, you gotta lose some weight, you gotta lose some bloat, you're looking, people tell me this all the time, you gotta cut. But let me tell you something, fellas. Why? When the shredded people put the t-shirts on, they don't even look like they lift. Now, here's the thing. Don't you want to look like a freaking thick horse in the real world? In the real world, you're wearing clothes, okay? You're not walking around shirtless, flexing abs. You know what I'm talking about? You're wearing clothes, you're looking stout, thick as a horse, okay? When I go to the gym and I have a stringer on, okay, I'm not doing the secret, ab when people look in the mirror and they act like they're wiping the sweat off their face, doing the secret ab check. You know what I'm talking about? I snicker when I see that. No, you got the stringer on, bloated, swollen, gorged muscles exploding out of your shirt. But once again, you're in a shirt. So get thick and stout. Now, fellas, let me just tell you something right now. My wife she just can't resist me, okay? She finds me irresistible, right? And she says the muscles are bulging. You know what I'm talking about? So like right there, I don't know more testament. This is a woman that sees me every day, but there's something about muscles exploding out of clothes that just people can't resist. Now, anyways, let's move on to Delicious Dick's Daily Delicacies of a hot golden tidbit. And I actually just talked about this a few videos back. I did indeed. But I have the freaking testimony now. Before it was freaking, thesis. Now I have decisive conclusion and the proof, fellas. Yesterday on the freaking Axel bar, 5 plates and a 5 on each side, okay? Right? And let me tell you something. When I started that workout, I wasn't feeling good. And when I started that workout, I said, I want to hit an all-time bench PR, okay? I said that to myself. I said, I'm going to hit the biggest bench of my life. So I'm not doing the bands. That's what I said, right? So I says I'm not doing the bands, So I freaking put the plates on, raw dogging, just the plates, no elastic, no, I'm trying to think of what condoms are made out of for a witty pun, but you get what I'm saying. No rubber, you know what I mean? No rubber, raw dogging the bench, okay? With the rubber is not on the bench, okay? Well, I get to 4, and first of all, fellas, I get 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, I become irate, 4 plate, I can only think of masturbate. 4 plate. Let's try to have a witty Dr. Seuss poem. But my point is, fellas, 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, I become irate. 4 plate, give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard, fellas. It was really hard. Like with 3 plates and then 4 plates, I'm like, damn, this is feeling hard. I feel like I'm gonna tear my pecs. There's no way I'm gonna hit an all-time PR. So I go back to the Dirty Dick's Nasty Dirty Secret, or whatever it's called, of the putting the resistance bands on. I throw rubber on as I put the rubber on. And let me tell you some of these bands at first too. I used to be a huge proponent of reverse banded work because in my head, I'm like, well, if I move, the reverse bands help substantially, you can put more plates on. So I'm thinking to myself, if I'm benching 6 plates on each side, well, then just imagine, mentally when I take those bands off, I'm like, well, I just did 6 plates. Why can't I hit 5 plates, But I've realized that, it is a mindset after all, but that mindset is flawed. Now, here is where it is indeed a mindset, fellas, and I need you to listen up because this is the whole point of the video in the first place. You can disregard everything else I said. That's not the point of the video. This is the point of the video, fellas. When I got the 4 plates raw dog, it felt hard, heavy, didn't feel right. So I stripped a plate off, went back to 3 plates, and I put this thick green boy on, okay? A medium band. Hit the 3 plates in the green boy. Then on top of the 3 plates in the green boy, I put the 3 plates, the green boy and the red boy, okay? Hit that. Move up to 365 or whatever. Hit these. Then 365, hit the green boy, the red boy, and the orange boy, okay? Now, I go to 4 plates. I take the green boy off. Now I'm doing 4 plates with the orange and the red on, okay? And it feels easier. Now keep in mind, this is 4 plates plus this resistance. It feels easier now because I don't freaking know. Like I had this resistance, the ton of tension up top, and then loose as a goose, explode through it, lubricate the pectorals, right? Then I go to 4 plates and a 25. I did 4 plates, a 10 and a 5. I do it with this. Smash it. Now I know, I say, okay, if I put more weight on now, it's gonna get kind of difficult. So I put more weight on, but I take the red boy off. So now I do the 475 plus the orange, okay? I smash that, and now I take the orange off and I put the 5 plates and the 5 on, and I say, listen, I don't know what this resistance is. I take this one off, I take this one off. I just did 475 in the orange. I take the orange off. I don't know what it is. I take it off, but I worked up in the same approach that I would if I was raw dogging that beast, but I did it with the rubbers on, okay? So in my mind, I'm only doing, 3 plate, 4 plate, 4.5 plate. But in fact, I have all these freaking, double these suckers on each side. So am I doing 4 plates? No, I was probably doing more like 5 plates, but in my freaking brains, I'm freaking thinking that I'm doing 4 plates. So I'm tricking the mindset, fellas. So my point was, yesterday, I said, I want to hit an all-time PR. So I go to warm up with those suckers. I'm feeling freaking tight, weak. I get to 4 plates. I say, this is not going to happen. I strip it. I put the freaking rubbers on for even more resistance. Now I'm at 4 plates with all these freaking rubbers on, and I hit that easier than I do with the 4 plates alone. I hit heavier weight easier than I did without that. Fellas, my point is, I don't think I will ever bench press again. I mean, maybe if you go to a commercial gym or whatever, you're just going through the motions. But if you're serious, I don't max at the gym because listen, commercial gyms, you're just asking for injury. There's no safety catches. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get benching. I don't get people that max out at a commercial gym. How do you fail? You can't fail. You know what I'm saying? You can't fail. So, unless you just, bench in the squat rack, which I'm thinking about starting to do. But my point is, I don't ever see how I'm going to just carry on going back to just purely raw dog bench when now I know that doing the freaking plates plus the resistance bands and then taking the resistance bands off, you're like super freaking primed up for heavy ass weights. You know what I'm saying? And listen, let's go back to when I thought that reverse bands, with putting these reverse bands helping me on stuff, I can do way more plates on the bar, but it doesn't work the same way. You know what I mean? Because you can't do that weight without the reverse bands helping you. But when you have this banded freaking resistance resisting you, you don't even think about the band resistance. I'm telling you, you really don't. Especially when I warm up with 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, with all these freaking bands on as well. In my mind, this is 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. It's not, 1 plate plus 5,000 pounds of resistance. You know what I'm talking about? But when I'm doing reverse bands, you're not warming up with 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. You're warming up with 4 plate, 5 plate, 6 plate, 7 plate, because you got the freaking bands are helping you so much. You know what I mean? And that's just, the mindset's disconnected. It's disassociated with freaking reality. But here, 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, with the freaking bands, your brain sees, okay, this is 1 plate, 2 plate, freaking 3 plate. You know what I'm talking about? So then you get to 4 plate, 4.5 plate, and then you're like, wait a second, I totally forgot. I have all this band resistance on as well. Let's take off all this band resistance, and all of a sudden, new PR, it's like, damn, honestly, fellas, it's the trickery. It's sticky, tricky trickery. You know what I'm talking about? So that's just why I had to make this video. Because listen, you know, every time, again, I make stupid, dumbass videos, but a lot of times, you know, I do find that I once again circle back that I might just be one of the smartest individuals in the world. You know what I mean? This proves it. Like, this kind of stuff, it's just like, it's all about like a science experiment, really. You know, definitely, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's science. And you freaking come up with a thesis, and then you put it to the test, and you come with a conclusion. But if you were to do the science and you have the thesis, and you spew thesis everywhere, and then you get the conclusion, but you don't spew the conclusion, then all of a sudden people just have a thesis. And then it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, this guy's thesis, theoretically, you know what I mean? Theoretically, listen, fellas, let me tell you another thing here before I go. You know, I always get so fired up. I wanted this to be a 2-minute, quick, hot, golden tidbit. And of course, we're, 11 minutes deep already. But, we're talking about theoretically and science and stuff, fellas. You know what I'm talking about? Like, all muscles, for the most part, are fast twitch muscle fibers. Fast twitch fibers, the only fibers that are capable to grow. Fast twitch fibers you tap into with, low reps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, whatever. And I agree, heavyweight, low reps, solid ass gains to be made. Of course, strength, the only way to be strong as a horse. But fellas, I exploded my knee. 100% full tears of the patellar tendon. I don't need to remind you that. So for months, I couldn't even bear weight on one side. I had to bear weight all on the left side of my body. So of course I'm lifting weights. I can't be horse cocking big dumbbells. You know what I'm talking about? So I had to use little weights. And what was I doing? You know what I mean? The only things I could really do are useless machines, which for the most part, I think they still are pretty useless. I've tried over and over and over again. Anecdotal data proves that the machines, for the most part, are useless. They're good for warming up and getting blood flow, but other than that, unless you're going full ham bone drop sets and whatever, and freaking gym pins and putting extra plates on the machines and stuff like that, I think it's a waste of time. Right? I really do. That's why I don't use the machines. That my entire freaking garage is full of machines, and I never go in there because I think they're, for the most part, pretty useless. But let me say this: what could I do? Because I couldn't horse cock weights because I had 3 full tears in the patellar tendon. I only had to use 10 pounds, 15, 20 pound dumbbells. And the most common thing I would be doing was always reverse flies, lateral raises, curls and stuff. But let me tell you something, fellas. Ever since doing that, the light weights and doing I'm talking 100 to 200 rep sets, usually 100. 200 is only when I'm really feeling really effed up in the brain. You know what I'm talking about? Really pushing that pain. But for the most part, and that's something I've kept, Jesus Christ, that's something I've kept in my repertoire is the 100 rep sets of laterals, fellas. And you want to look juicy at the gym, you wear a tank top, you don't worry about striated abdominals, you get thick, those snacks, right? You get freaking snacked out of your mind. You go to the gym, the stringer on, you hit 100 reps of laterals. And don't worry about this, God freaking, you know what I mean? Don't be, do this, okay? What you do is you freaking have a little lean right here, you know what I'm talking about? And you keep your elbows at this angle right here, so you shrug. Don't think about this. You're just gonna hurt your shoulders. You horse cock, like shrug. See that angle? You hit 100 reps with the 10s, the 12s, the 15s, okay? You're gonna look so freaking thick and freaking stout, okay? And listen, fellas, my shoulder press, my overhead press has gotten stronger. And really, that's the only new thing that I've changed other than guzzling down snacks, okay? But shoulders have just gotten so goddamn stout from doing, and I almost do that every single day, honestly. No matter what I'm doing, a couple sets of a hundo on the laterals, horse cock, you know what I'm saying?